I'm Wynand Goosen. I'm a molecular biologist in the Animal Tuberculosis Research Group at Stellenbosch University. My main research focus is improving the surveillance of tuberculosis, not only in humans but also animals like wildlife and livestock and their environments. Yes, so molecular biology is a broad term for a nice pot of numerous different fields in terms of maths, microbiology, genetics, immunology, bioinformatics. And it's all tools in a toolbox that you learn during your studies in molecular biology that you then can apply to wherever the need is in a country. For example, with COVID-19 or tuberculosis, you can take those tools and apply it to a situation to figure out a solution that's necessary in that specific country. And I think it's important for South Africans to study these type of fields so that they can find solutions for local problems. So a day in my life includes coming into work, spending time with my students, which I enjoy a lot, and then trying to figure out what questions are of importance to be answered in our field, especially because tuberculosis is something that can be transmitted between humans and animals at the wildlife-human environmental transmission interface. For example, we've identified tuberculosis in African elephants in various zoos, and that's just due to the interaction that occurs between humans and elephants, especially when animals, for example, free-ranging elephants, when they get into contact with areas where humans spend a lot of time during drought areas, and they may eat something that's infected with tuberculosis. The position we find ourselves in the Animal Tuberculosis Research Group is really unique. We heavily rely on various other professions, not just scientists, but also veterinarians, medical doctors, epidemiologists, statisticians, a whole group full of people to make this actually work. Okay, so with the sequencing data, we can see that, first of all, if something's present or absent, right, and then from that we can see what strain it is, or what is it that's present. And then there's other things we can look at as drug-resistant profiles. A lot of the strains that's present in animals is naturally resistant to treatments, antibiotics that's given to strains found in humans. So with molecular biology as a career, you can go into food production, medical fields, and also quality control and pharmaceuticals. I'm specifically in biomedical sciences, focused on tuberculosis research, and that's to do with understanding infection and disease in various hosts and transmission interfaces, so that we can better understand the epidemiology behind it and also design better diagnostic tools and treatments. So in the town where I grew up, there was always livestock and wildlife roaming the streets of the town. And as a little boy, I always wondered what does this mean in terms of health, for not just for us but for the animals as well. I mean, some of them obviously didn't look that healthy, and there was a reason for that. And I wondered what procedures was in place to avoid any transmission of whatever they had to us, and also what we have to them. My advice would be to find your passion and really go at it and give it everything you can. Though if you do something half and your outcome is not what you expected, then you're always going to wonder, what if I gave everything, would I have been able to achieve it or not? So I grew up in a small little town called Makanda in the Eastern Cape, where there weren't many resources for schooling. And the school I was in was very challenged in that sense, and there was leadership issues, and we had to really stand together as the scholars in the school to make the situation work for ourselves. We found strength in each other, and each of us contributed something unique to that circumstance, and which ended up where a few of us actually were able to teach ourselves and thrive under the circumstances. Something that a lot of people don't think that they have the ability to do, which is not true at all. You can actually, if you stand together, you can figure a way out how to get yourself out of that situation. It's still a handbook, it's the material still there, there's a lot of online resources, but I mean, even if you don't have online resources, if you have a friend that understands the section better, make sure you rely on them to really translate that work for you. And that's where it all starts. Once you take responsibility and accountability for your own education, that's then you can become anything.